Hello, sir. My name is Sanjan. I am from Daud, Gujarat. I am currently in my final year pursuing computer science and engineering from SNIT Surat. During my academic journey, I have cultivated a strong sense of problem-solving skills, particularly in the field of data structures and algorithm. I also have an interest in web development and DevOps. This past summer, I have completed my internship at Espyr, where I was responsible for developing a web-based platform for interview scheduling.
Okay.
Another key feature of this project was video conferencing through WebRTC for real-time and seamless communication. I've also led the development process utilizing Docker for containerization. Apart from this, I have worked on various projects, including Docker, which enhances the connectivity between patient hospitals and doctors. I also have hands-on experience on frameworks like React and Spring Boot. I am also an active participant in coding competition and solved more than 400 problems on LeetCode. And recently I achieved a rank of 2000 out of 35,000 participants. I also served as a coordinator at Nexus, which is the official computer science and engineering club at SNIT Surat.
Okay. Great. Lot of things you have on your resume. Okay, no problem. Okay, next thing I'll share you one doc. Okay, one Google Doc, and in this doc we can start with the coding. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay, so
Uh,
before this, can you explain me how the output is 0, 0?
okay, so let us suppose that if we first choose the this position, then to the left, the first locality is one distance of one, and to the right it is empty, empty, and then blocker. So 1, 2, and 3. To the top, it is at a distance of 1, and bottom at a distance of 1. So 1, 3, 1, 1. And means the output is 0, 0.
Yeah. So output, like how output is 0? I want to know that.
Oh, so 0, 0 is the position of the what that 0 row and 0 column.
No, actually, you have to return the coordinates represent the position that have provided the near distance to the nearest blocker.
That
So
is column.
in this case, like there are basically two this robots, right?
Hmm.
So you are saying the first one will be getting the distance with the nearest blocker, right?
Yes.
That's why the answer is 0, 0.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. You were saying some brute force approach.
So brute force, I think we will pick every robot there at the position and we find the nearest blocker to them by traversing through the matrix itself. And if it matches with the distance, then we can add that coordinate to our result.
Okay.
For time complexity, it will be traversing the whole matrix. So if the matrix was of size n comma n, so it will take n cross n.
Are you sure about the time complexity?
Oh, sorry, n cross n, and traversing through each row and column once again. So for each row will travel n and then n. So n cross n multiplied by n plus n.
Multiplied by m plus m.
M.
Okay. Okay. So I think this will go till your O of n cube, right?
Yes.
Any better approach which is coming to your mind? And what about the space one? So you are storing some answers in your.
So we are storing the coordinates. So it will be number of coordinates that are in the answer multiplied by 2.
Okay, so okay, coordinates you are storing only this row and column.
Hmm.
Okay, into number of what was the thing? The coordinates.
Mm, Number of coordinates. So let us suppose here the answer is 1. So 1 into 2 as we are storing two numbers.
Okay, okay, makes sense. Okay, any approach which is coming to your mind for improving? I think time part.
So for a better approach, I am thinking that still we will try to pick every position of the robot, and instead of traversing the whole row and whole column, we will just add the distance to the index that we are currently on. So suppose we are on 0, comma 0. So for left, we will check 0, minus 1, comma 0. So it will be minus 1. It will be out of bounds. So as it's also out of bound, it will be a blocker by itself. Then we check for 3. So 0 comma 0 plus 3 comma 0. So it will be again out of bounds. And similarly for top out of bounds and for bottom, if we check, we will go 0 comma 0 plus 1, which will be 0 comma 1, 1 comma 0, sorry. So that will be a blocker. So as all of them are blockers, so we can add that coordinate. So for this approach, we will save on extra m time complexity. So overall time complexity would become O of n square.
But there could be a case, for example, you are like, okay, I'll add into this matrix only. So there could be a case that blocker is there, right?
Yes,
So will this satisfy the our condition?
yes, nearest blocker. Yeah, that will fail. So I'm thinking that maybe we can perform a BFS on all the positions of the robot, and from there we can figure out the maximum distance that we can move in each direction.
Uh, okay. How can you explain?
So, for example, we take a cube and we insert all the positions of the robot with the initial distance as 0,
Okay.
and we can also keep track of the direction that we will move on. So, initially, let's say it's a -1, so no direction we have moved on.
Okay.
Then for each node, we can move either in four directions, right?
Okay.
So we will move until there is no blocker, and as a resultant, in the end, we will get whenever we cannot move, that would be the end of that cell, right? So if we try to move to the left, we cannot move. So the result would be that we tried to move in the left direction, and we were not able to move 0. So 0 plus 1, there would be a blocker at 1 in the left direction. Similarly, we try to move in the right direction, and for right, we will say it's an empty cell. So we will insert the position of the robot to the right, comma the number of steps that we have moved, that is 1, and in the right direction. So let us suppose we assign integer to all directions as 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we move toward 3, so we'll assign 3 to it, and similarly.
Okay. So basically, you will be maintaining one queue,
Mm,
and for that queue, for each and every this robot, you will be checking how far we can go from that position, right?
mm,
Okay. So okay. So isn't it the same way which you were doing previously? In that previous thing, you were running
mm,
one loop, right? Loop or
mm,
something, whatever you want. So I think BFS is also doing the same way. You are kind of jumping each and every coordinates at a single point of time. So for each and every this robot, this I think the time complexity will still remain same at burst time, right? And also you are into adding some space complexity as well,
for the queue.
right?
Mm.
The time is not getting optimized. Also space is also increasing. So
So, but if we try to perform a BFS in the time complexity would be somewhat of vertex plus edges V plus E.
okay. So but the worst case it would in worst case it would still be O of m plus n, right? Uh,
Okay. Mhm.
Vertices would be the maximum this number of columns, and rows would also still be edges.
Yes. So I'm thinking that instead of using robots, we can choose the blocker itself.
Okay.
So if we choose the blocker, then the issue will not be of the if there is a blocker in between or not. No, there is still will be a blocker in between.
Any thoughts which are coming to your mind? I think you were in a right direction. Let's not think in terms of robot. Let's think in another way.
I was thinking that if we could take an obstacle and we could apply the approach of increasing the index and seeing if the robot is present or not. But that would also cause the same problem as if there was an obstacle in between. What would be the expected time complexity for this problem, sir?
So I think the one which I was expecting is O of n into m only. Can you think in terms of like pre-calculated, uh, like in any scenario, we can pre-calculate the obstacle at that point? Maybe that can help because our main challenge is to calculate these obstacles, right?
Yes,
How
yes.
far is the nearest obstacle is us from that robot, right? So maybe
Mhm.
you can think in terms of how we can reduce that calculation, or in terms of like how, or like if we can recalculate that thing for that particular index, so that would be great.
I was thinking in terms of prefix sum for each row in each column.
Okay,
So let us suppose that we start from here, the nearest obstacle is here, and we move till we do not find another obstacle. So x is over here. So distance will be 1, y this will be 2, and this will be 3. Here we get an obstacle over here, then we again get an obstacle. So this will be 0, then 1, 2, and for this we need to find the obstacle as from left to right and then from right to left. As there could be a case where there are 4 elements, and for the third element, it would be closer to the right than to the left. So I'm thinking that we need to maintain a matrix for uh, for each prefix sum of each row, and from the left and from the right, and also for each column that we need to maintain. Now, if we need to find the nearest obstacle for this cell to the right or to the left, then we can easily find it using the matrix that we have pre-calculated.
okay, okay. Can you? Okay, so I think that will your improve time to O of NM, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens like if we if I again this make this as obstacle? Okay, and now what is the nearest? So what should be the answer first of all?
So first of all, this will be to the right. It will not be 3, it will be 1. And for this, get left is 3. So we won't be able to find any position uh, for this distance.
Okay, okay, makes sense. Can you write the code quickly?
For the when prefix sum was done, so let us suppose that we found the prefix sum for each row in each column. So now, when we are at a position where there is a robot, we simply check that the nearest obstacle to the left, to the right, to up and down, if that is equal to the distance that was given to us, then we simply put back the coordinates into the resultant vector, and finally we return the vector.
Okay, I think makes sense, but I think there are some. I guess this coming to this first and second loop. Like I think there is
Yes.
some mistake. The second loop which you have filling for this rightmost array, right? I think there is some. It won't. I think it won't get the numbers won't get populated properly. I guess. I am asking about the second loop, the
Uh,
above,
no.
the above one, the right, the
Okay. Right.
yeah, the right vector.
Travel from n minus 1 is 0. The reverse direction, initially the distance was like 0. We travel each column. So I think now it is correct.
Can you explain me the second for loop which you have written in this? Okay, so you are basically looping from the bottom of the array. That's okay, and you are looping from
Okay, okay, okay.
left to right, right?
We did the reverse from this. So this will be 0 to n itself.
That's okay. I think above loop will won't affect you. Uh,
And we need to reverse this and in the reverse direction.
okay, I think for the similar one you can. Okay, maybe you can correct the third and fourth loop, but yeah,
Yes.
I think this will work. So, can you write the time and space complexity for the above one?
So time complexity, I think we would require O n plus n cross n. And space complexity, I'm using 4 matrices and a resultant matrices. So 5 cross n plus 10 4 here. So 5 times n cross n. So approximately O of n cross n.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, moving to the another question.
So initially, we use a subset of s, subsequence of s. We need to remove the maximum. characters subject is still a subset of S.
You get the question.
So for example, this is S and this is T. Now to we can remove these three characters from S, and T will still be a substring of S.
Okay.
And here both strings are equal, so we cannot even remove a single character.
Okay.
When we talk about this, the substring this SDE, and we can remove the we from the answer we vote for this.
So before this, can you explain me what the question is asking?
Okay, so I need to remove the maximum number of characters from S. Subject is still a subsequence of given S.
Yeah. So I think if we remove, so basically we need to remove the maximum number of characters from S, right? So that after removing those characters, we still have the proper the subsequence of T without changing the structure in S, right? So if we remove basically this starting three characters ASD, then our FASD would remain as it is, right?
Yes.
That's why the answer is three.
But why can't we remove F? Also?
Because we need to remove the maximum continuous the subarray.
Okay, so we can perform the operation at least once.
Yes. Any approach? Let's not jump into the optimize one first. Let's just start with the brute force.
After the operation, T should still remain a subsequence of S. I'm thinking that if we can find all the subsequence of S, try removing the maximum and check if T is still a subsequence.
Okay. And what could be the time complexity of removing those, basically finding those subsequence and then checking the remaining ones?
And complexity of finding the subset which also somewhat n square for finding all the subsets, and then you need to check again that if T is still a subset or not. So that will again require an n. So approximately n cube.
Uh, I don't think so. It will be n cube.
I think it will be n power 4.
Okay. How?
So n square for finding the subset, all the subsets of S, and n square for checking if T is still a subset of that subset that we required.
How we can check that T is a subset of S after removing or without removing?
So I think we can use dynamic programming and compare that subset with T itself.
Dynamic programming. Okay. Can you give me an example like how dynamic programming will work?
So
Okay,
initially,
uh, okay. Let's say we have introduced some more characters here.
mm,
Okay, in the third one. Now, what would be the answer first of all?
first of all, we can remove the starting 6 characters, 3 characters on the front, and we can remove 2 characters on the middle. So it will still be three, the starting 3 characters.
Okay, and after removing my characters, so my
Mm,
final array would be something like this: F, C, C, A, S, T, F, right?
yes.
Okay, so we need to find whether T is a subset of this string or not.
Mm.
So how we will apply this DP on this one?
So if we need to find that if T is a subset of this, we will find using tabulation. We can check if F is equal to F. We will count that as one. So let's. I'm thinking about a recursive solution. So if we check F and F, that means that it's a match. So we'll increase the count of the count of the longest common subsequence that we need to find. If the longest common subsequence within this is of size 4, that means then we have found a sequence where T is a subsequence of this given string.
Okay, so basically you will kind of create one recursion method. Okay, and in that recursion method you will decrease the length what we need to find.
Yes.
Okay, of T basically in this S, right?
Mhm.
Okay, uh, but so what will be the time complexity of that one?
So for finding that, it will take somewhat, we are trying to check each index, it will be of exponential time complexity. But as we are recalculating many indices, we can use dynamic programming and it will be converted to n square approach.
Okay. So I think there might need you might need some space as well for storing that
Yeah.
DP.
So it will be an n square of matrix, DP matrix.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So let's not go into that route. I think the
Mm,
overall solution would reach out to your O of n4, and still the space complexity would again go to our O of this n square for each
yes.
and every this substring you
Mm.
calculate, right? I think that is not a good thing. So can you try reducing the stripe complexity once?
Starting and the ending in indices of the so so wherever the A will be a subsequence of S. So let us suppose that there is a B here again. So that would mean that we would get two answers, so 0 to 1, 3 to 4. So now out of this, we could select to remove the starting part of from here or the ending part from that. So before 0, we cannot decrease any characters. After 1, we can remove all the characters. So that would give us a answer of 3. And if we try to decrease from here, it will again give us 3. So we will try to pick a maximum out of all the subsequence that we can find in that string.
Basically, you are storing the range of each and every character.
So wherever we can find t as a subsequence in this string.
Okay. Can you explain one for the third solution, third input, how it will look alike?
Here only the match of that would be from here. So either we can remove all the characters after 9 or all the characters before 3. In between also we can remove the characters which will be equal to 9 minus 3, which will give us the 6 characters minus the number of minus the size of t. So it will remove 2 characters. So basically we can remove 3 characters from the left, 1 character from the right, or 2 characters from the middle. So we'll choose the maximum, which is 3.
So this 3 to 9 would be for F, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. But if we remove this middle one, don't you think we will lose our substring T?
Yeah, so we need to check that if you are able to remove the contiguous part or not. Okay.
Or okay, so one more thing. Will you store this thing, the range for only first character, or like we will store for this for each and every character?
So not for each and every character, but like if we if we find the longest, if we try to find the subsequence in this, so the output will be fold, right? So using that approach, we can figure out the range of the substrings where this will be a subsequence. That minimum number of characters that we can use this. So for FASD, that resultant would be this FCC plus SD.
Okay. Uh, but the thing which is giving me a concern is the one, like suppose we don't need to remove the middle one, because if removing
Yeah.
the middle one, this might we might lose this this string T, right?
So
It's coming into.
for that time, initially I'm considering the maximum out of left and right. For middle, I need to figure out that the maximum number that we can remove either by traversing through T again. So we will traverse from here to here. And for each, there could be multiple occurrence of here also. This cannot be done directly. I need to figure out some method to recalculate this. But it will be a much smaller thing than the whole thing itself.
Kananjan, we are only 5 minutes away. So maybe if you are thinking of any solution, so we can discuss. Maybe I think you were in the right direction. Uh, Maybe we can solve in which with that format as well. Let's see.
I'm not able to figure out. How could we reduce the check if the number of characters that we can remove from the middle?
Okay, maybe if you can store the range of all the characters and then checking out the next range of the character. For example, this you have stored the range of f from 3 to 9, right? So the a a part which is inside that, so it ranges would be, yeah, 6 to 6, right? So maybe if you can try removing, so it is clear that we can't remove all the characters from 3 to 9, but we can remove the characters from 3 to 6, right? So maybe if you can think in that direction, like keeping the range of all the characters and removing those characters which are not included in that range, maybe that can help.
Now we can remove from consecutive characters from 3 to 6, 6 to 7, and 7 to 8.
But still, do you think like we can reach to the optimal solution using this? Because you have to, for example, like for each and every character, you still have to go through each and every range,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, and that too, like how will you proceed? Okay, so one more thing, like what if we have a range with this? Okay, so B is here and A is here, so your range would shift it from 6 to 8, right?
Yes.
So you are planning to remove characters from this. Uh, so why your F is 3 comma 3? Shouldn't it be the uh, last character index,
So,
like the one which you
and
have explained?
if there were, suppose there are multiple Fs
Okay.
and multiple As, so the character that we will remove was from the right of F, means the last index, to the first index of A. So that's why 3 comma 3.
Okay. So basically, okay, so shouldn't the F should be 1, 2, 3, basically 4 comma 5, or like what should be the range of F you will store?
3 comma 4.
3 comma 4. Okay, so here it would be 4.
Hmm.
And what? Okay,
It would be 7 comma
so
10 comma
like,
10.
so why are we storing only the first occurrence? Basically, first and the second occurrence. So basically, if you boil down this solution, so you are storing
Hmm.
only first and the second occurrence of each and every character, right?
Yes.
So why only first and second character? Maybe we could find our answer after second occurrence of second character as well, right?
So I'm not finding the second, but the first and the last occurrence basically.
But in this case, don't you think the last occurrence would be the last, basically the length of this? So whether it is, I think it should be 4, 4, 8, 11, 4, 4, 8, 12, 13.
Oh, but we first figured out the minimum substring that would be enough for T.
Okay. So you are picking this string, the highlighted one, right?
So first we find the minimum substring out of S that could fit T, and then we try to cut down the characters from in the between of that.
Okay. 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 So what could like if like if I add this F here,
Mm.
so you will
So
select the first one, right?
we will select both this also and this also.
Okay. And for example, if you select this one, the highlighted one, then how will you
Mm.
proceed? So you will try to remove the remaining one, right?
Okay, so 3 comma 3, then I will pick the first and last occurrence of A. So basically I can remove all the middle part of A from here to here, or from between A, S and the first occurrence of A. So basically this part I can remove.
Okay. So basically, you will remove this FCC. Okay. Well, FCC and ABA, right?
Either of this, whichever is the largest.
FCC, uh, FCC. Okay. FCC, or either you would remove A comma B comma A, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So your maximum answer would be 3. But like if you'll see, if we consider a string, okay, the first 4
Hmm.
characters, and
Hmm.
if we remove the last all the characters which are after those 4 characters, then don't you think
Hmm.
the answer will be that one, because that is giving us the maximum answer, right? I think
I think we figured out, right, that this would be the range. We can select either left, right, and then from that we try to cut down the middle. So the answer would be the maximum of middle, left or right.
okay. So we are good here. Okay. Anything which you want to ask?
Any area that I need to work upon in the end.
Okay. So first of all, I think the placement season might be going on
Hmm.
in your college as well. I think in most of the NITs they start generally around July, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we are 3 months down, and still companies might be coming in, right? Okay. So one thing, what's your this? So are you regular on your courses and course?
So I do lead for lead code. I am not into CPM.
Okay, no problem. So most of the companies generally take this online assessment. Okay, and that is not very much hard level. Okay,
Hmm.
even if you look into this Google online assessment, so they are pretty much of medium to um, difficult level, well, hard basically. Uh, but yeah, most of the things, if you are good enough with your proper data structures, so I think you can easily track those. Okay. For coming to that practice part, I will recommend you to go through that so have you heard about that interview bit?
Yes.
So that is good enough because that have this time bound this question limit. Okay,
Hmm.
so it will give you kind of real life scenario that you have this time, and also they deduct marks. I think if you submit anything wrong, or like there is some TLE or NP, something like that. Okay, so that give you will give you some rough idea. Apart from that, so companies have started looking into this DSS skills for a very along with your design skills as well. So if you target for companies like Uber and some rubric as well, like if they come to your campus, so they generally ask for one small design round, some low level design round, right? So you basically have to write code using your OOPS concept. Okay, and they might drill you down on your concurrency skills, but not much deep into. Okay, but yeah, a little bit you need to take care of those things. Okay, and coming to this data structures part, I think we you still need some this you should improve, I think, on your thinking skills, because in generally what company does is they ask two questions for a 1 hour round, and they expect you to come for like for first question, like the one which I added, so it was of easy medium level. So they generally expect you to come up with a solution within 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so that's the thing, and you next thing you write down to the complete solution within the next 10 minutes. Okay, and similarly, uh, you at least try to solve the hard one, the second one, uh, within your own without any hints, right? Because like as you told that you are planning for Google, right?
Hmm.
So Google have this judging criteria. They judge on some factors like how the interview is taking the hints from the interviewer. Okay, so if interviewer giving you the hints, they deduct the marks basically. Okay, second thing is how fast you are coming up to a solution for a particular question. So they will ask you one question, and if you come up to a question within the time frame, they will give you a second question. So basically, kind of follow up, or like follow up on the same question with some harder or like higher limits. For example, like if you were solving the previous question in O of n cube with your size of an array of this 10 to the power 2, that would adjust into a limit of 10 to the power 6, right? Uh, but the next follow up would be the array size have been increased to 10 to the power 4. Then you can't adjust your solution, existing solution. So that thing they come up, and that too they have this, I think, time frame of 45 minutes. They don't conduct interview of 1 hour, only of 45 minutes, including all your follow up questions and without any hints. So these are the thing. Also, the one I think, yeah. So there was some syntax error in the first question, which I explained. So there were, although minor syntax error, I got to know that what's your intention and what solution you were trying to implement. So I was good, but in generally, if you are opting for Google at least, so they will deduct your marks. Okay, because this comes into the thing that interviewers have to give you the hint. Okay, so they might deduct your marks on this point. Along with that, I think on the second question, you were on a right track. So think in terms of how we can. We were on this path, like we need to remove some part of the string so that remaining string can be so that T can be formed as a substring of remaining string. So think in terms of storing this range only. Okay. Now, if we are storing this range, right? So we have three parts to this range. How we can, if we can remove the left part of that range, if we can remove the bottom part, middle part of that range, and if we can remove the right part of that. So think in terms of that. I think you were on a right track. So that's a good. But yeah, still, uh, we need to come up to a solution because some companies judge on those criteria. And nowadays, I think most of the companies have started to run the solution which you have implemented so that they can be 100% sure that it is not failing. Okay, because there might be some cases that human doesn't catch any error, so but they generally try and test at that point only, then only they move forward. So yeah, these were the points I think. And yeah, I think we are good here. But yeah, we can, you can, I think you have pretty good time. Still we have September. So you are 25 grad, right?
Yes, kind of.
Okay, so one quick thing. So I think there is one competition which might run on CodeChef. So Cred is hosting that
Yes.
competition. Yeah, so you can participate in that. Before this, I asked you that how frequent you are on CodeChef and CodeForce, right? So that's because like you will get familiar with that platform, right? Because most of the companies hire through your CodeChef, not through the CodeForce, but yeah, CodeChef. So people generally hire, and I think there is one this Expedia competition or interview bit, so you can participate in that as well. Though they also offer this uh, full-time opportunity and things. And there is one Flipkart grid as well. You might have aware of. So through these programs as well, I think you can opt these. And because these are the great opportunities. Because I was also not from computer science background. Okay, so it was difficult for me as well. But yeah, you can surely try off campus.
Should I start doing code courses or should I stick to LinkedIn?
So okay, so basically, you were correct. So if you're not much into CP, so that doesn't make sense. But still, I would recommend you to go through those platforms. If you are, for example, like if in any competition there are 5 questions in code force, right? They will be of increased difficulties, A, B, C, and something like this. Okay, but I think if you are good enough in data structures, you can still complete 3 questions. A, B, and C. They are of medium difficulties. The thing is, they provide you the highly collaborative platform that you will see the leaderboard in your real time that within a second people have completed 2 questions. So how fast people are basically performing. So basically, they will give you that high pressure environment so that you can think within 10 to 15 minutes of that question. Okay, that will give you a kind of just about like how you can handle the interview, highly pressurized interview environment, right? So maybe just you can go into this because I think on Code Forces they generally conduct this contest every second or third day at around 8:15 p.m. So that is good. क्या ही होगा ज़्यादा रेटिंग गिर जाएगी ज़्यादा और सीपी अगर अपने को नहीं भी करनी है तो इट्स ओके ना नो प्रॉब्लम ठीक है बट वी हैव टू go through that environment, the highly pressurized environment basically, right? Which you will go through in the interview. So that मतलब आप interview में कोई नया question देखो, so you don't get कि यार मतलब डर लगे आपको like ठीक है, okay, you still get some confidence कि हाँ मतलब वो डर वाला part खत्म हो जाए, solve हो ना हो that's a different thing, but हाँ you should not get any shocks यार this is very tough or something. Although you were on the right track on the second question, but yeah, ठीक है, but you should definitely try. Any other questions, Anil?
That's it.
Okay, it's pretty late, I guess. So yeah, good night. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Okay.